4 p.m. Stand up. It's count time. It's time for every man and woman to stand up and be counted. I'm Brother L.D. Azobra, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Count Time Podcast. Yeah, we got a special one here today. We got the man in the myth, and we got the great legendary, with an actor, singer, but we know him as the most beloved Coach Ron Abernathy, one of the first black coach at LSU. Welcome to Count Time, Coach.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and thank you for this opportunity to be great, to be in the light.
Yeah, just to be above ground, say a lot. Man, where have time gone?
Gone. It's gone.
Gone.
Waits on no one.
It's gone. It's for real.
I just remember you when we were students together at LSU.
Well, just like that.
1977.
You got there in 76. And you coached under Coach Dale Brown, our great friend. That's what brought you to town this weekend.
Yes, it is. Yes,
now tell us why you're here.
Coach Brown, a book has been penned about his life, and so I came for the special
book. Coach Brown got a lot of books about his life. What's different about this one?
Well, it appears that this book is about Coach Brown's presence and his influence on the NCAA and student athletes. And of course, I understand there was a little controversy about the naming of the floor for him.
Basketball court at LSU.
The basketball court at LSU. And of course, I believe the writer wanted to take up the cause.
You know, he did take up the cause.
Well, he did take up the cause.
He wrote a book about it.
He wrote a book.
All those things that was going on.
Yeah.
And as we know, Coach Brown has been a great human being,
right.
A man for all. He's a warrior. I mean, like George Eaton was a warrior for justice, and I got to put Coach Brown in that same category.
Oh yeah, no question about it. I mean, no question about his influence and his impact, and particularly on LSU basketball and all the things that went with it and without it.
Okay.
Life in it, around it, life through basketball at LSU.
I mean, look, in 1976, Coach Brown decided, I'm going to bring a coach here that could do the job. And of course, once we got to know Ron Abernathy, a man of class, a man of integrity, a man of dignity, hard working. I mean, and a man who, you believe in excellence. You wanted the best, because you represent excellence. The way you dressed, the way you carried yourself, and that was just an honor to you was a great example when Coach Brown born. He knew what he was bringing.
Right.
And you was just a class act everywhere you went.
Right. No question. And I would never, early on in my career, I always loved to dress well. I always loved to present myself well. And early in my career, people would make comments, well, why he got to dress like that? Why does he have to try to look so good? And it kind of bothered me just a little bit.
For real?
Yeah, just a little bit. And the story is, because I was young and I was single. I was 25 years old when I came to Baton Rouge.
You was just 25.
25 years old when I came to Baton Rouge. And of course I was single, and of course I had a lot going for me. And
that was a major undertaking for a 25-year-old moving. I mean, you're moving further down south, because you're from the south.
Further down south, yeah. Had my mother had a choice. She actually told me, you're not going. I was 25 years old, and she told me, you're not going.
Your mama told you ain't going to Louisiana.
Well, she heard I had the job off. She said, you're not going to Louisiana. She said, ain't no way. She said, because you are progressive, you are forward. She said, that's not going to be a good place for you.
Oh.
And I had to tell her, I said, yes, ma'am, I believe I'm going to go. After I come to visited LSU and went back home to make a decision. I'm like, yes, ma'am,
It's too great an opportunity.
Too great an opportunity to pass up. So for a little while, I always dressed well, and then I found myself kind of getting tired of the comments about me looking and always looking good. And really, believe it or not, there was a nightclub here in Baton Rouge that was called LTD.
Oh man, yes indeed. I remember the LTD.
And Queenie was one of the proprietors of LTD, and she always dressed real well. Every night you go into LTD, it was a private club, so you couldn't just walk in.
Right, off of Plank Road.
Off of Plank Road. And I used to go there because it was a private club, and it was very nice. And I remember I became a queen with her and her husband. And then one night she said, she came to me, she said, Coach, she said, what are you doing? I was like, what? She said, I know. She said, you always look good. She said, I love when you walk in that door, how well dressed you are. She said, but lately, I've been just kind of, to me, it looks like you're kind of dressing down a little bit. And I said to her, Queen, I kind of am, because I kind of get tired of people talking about how good I look and I'm trying to be better than anyone else. And she said to me, she said, you sit down right now. And she said, let me tell you one thing. The way you dress, the way you carry yourself is who you are. She said, don't you ever let me hear you or hear of you say anything about dressing down, not being who you are, because that's the man that you are, and that's the man you are becoming. And she said, if I will spank you the next time I hear you ever, or next time I see you, and you don't dress like you're supposed to dress, and be who you're supposed to be. And from that day on, that was early, that was our, I believe that was in around 1978.
You lowering your standards to fit in.
I was trying to dress down. Yeah. And she told me don't ever do that. And from that point on, I have made no apologies. I try to hurt folks with the way I look and the way I dress, because it's just me. And I try to refine it.
But where did that come from?
Wow, that's another story. My dad died when I was 11 years old, and we were born and raised in the projects in Louisville, Kentucky.
Now, give me your mom and dad name.
My mom was Juanita Abernathy, and my dad was, of course, being Abernathy. And we lived in, of course, then the projects were nice then. Men can represent, men lived there. Yeah. I remember the projects in Franklin, so I remember getting a fine if the grass wasn't cut, getting a fine from the front office if the doors weren't clean, it wasn't swept out front. They were pretty astute at that time. And I just remember, when my dad died, my mom she was 35 years old at the time, and she had 3 boys, so she had to go to work. And she had never worked before, but my dad was the breadwinner. She had to get a job. So because she only had an 8th grade education, the only jobs that were available to her was cleaning people's houses, housekeeping. And that's what she did. But she would bring home these magazines from the places that she worked, literally the white folks' houses, and to set them down. And I would open them, I would read them. GQ, Better Housing, and it was always the pictures of the people dressed real well. And I was fascinated by that. And then when GQ magazine came out, I got it.
Okay.
And I decided that that's the way I wanted to dress.
That's you.
Now, remind you, none of those models at that time in GQ
even look like you.
Even look like me. But I didn't look here. I didn't see that color.
You just looked at the clothes.
I was just looking at the clothes and really started mimicking things. And I never forget. As a student, of course, I went to high school, all boys military high school, where we wore uniforms, so dress wasn't that important. It really became important to me after I graduated from college, moved back to my hometown and became a head basketball coach. So I really picked it up. But I had my mind and heart set on my first outfit from looking at those magazines, okay? And that was going to be a blue blazer with gray pants, a nice tie that was red, and a white shirt was my first outfit. And when I got my first paycheck, Of course, then they had the layaway place. So I went to a real expensive store and purchased a blue blazer, some gray pants, a white shirt, and the tie, and I put it on layaway.
And that was your first really outfit?
That was my first outfitted dress, my first sport coat, my first pair of dress slacks.
Now, what was that feeling like when you put it on for the first time?
I'm the baddest man in this world. $1 million. $1 million.
That's amazing. That's the power
yes.
of not just dress, anything that you feel that's value to you.
Yes, but I had researched it. I had looked at the GQ magazines, the Better Home magazines that my mom would bring, and I had it down. And I knew exactly what I wanted. And I didn't want to go to JCPenney or I went to the best men's clothing store in Louisville, Kentucky.
That's it. That's you brought that outfit.
I did.
And you couldn't look back after that.
No, and I did.
Because now you don't put yourself in a certain place and mindset that it's got to get better.
Oh, no question.
This a start here.
There was no question that I was going to move forward from there. And just the fact that, when I dressed good, I felt good. And then people told me, you look good. And so
that means a lot. People telling you,
right.
You ain't nobody telling you that coming up.
No.
So when you finally start hearing that.
Well, the first thing you hear coming up is negative.
Yeah.
But then when you started hearing positive, wanting to be positive, move toward being positive, that's the goal. Most people start telling you look pretty good, and then you process that, and of course I've never looked back.
All right. Now you from the Louisville, Kentucky, where the great Louisville Slugger is from. Now who is that?
Muhammad Ali.
Did you?
We call him Cassius Clay.
Cassius Clay,
I have to tell you another story about that.
All right then.
Muhammad Ali, well, Cassius Clay, we call him. Actually, parents lived next door, one door down from my grandparents, on the same street.
Now you got to be kidding.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay, so you had a chance to see him?
Regular? Yes, regular basis. So we'd always go to my grandmama's house, and of course, he was up and down the streets, and of course, the story about him, the guy stealing his bicycle, which made him want to start fighting. Well, he was up and down those streets like that, and then, I always see him. And then, of course, he went to Central High School, and on that same street was the principal of Central High School. And during the homecoming celebration, they had a parade, the bands would always come down and perform before the principal's house. And my grandparents were right there, and of course it was...
Okay, so everybody was going there for that purpose.
Yeah, everybody was going there for that purpose.
Right, so right now, you became a coach, so you went to Moorhead State. Where is that at?
That's in Moorhead, Kentucky.
So you never went too far at the time, huh?
No, again, Lyman, people know you, but they don't really know your story.
All right, then.
I chose Moorhead because in high school I was a baseball player. And when I graduated from high school, I was about 5'6", 5'7".
When you graduated from high school, you were just 5'6", 5'7"?
5'6", 5'7". I was about 155 pounds.
So you grew after high
I
school.
was a baseball player. But, if you live in Kentucky, what's the game in Kentucky?
Basketball.
Basketball.
To this day.
All other sports are secondary. Basketball in Kentucky. So I grew up that way. Grew up wanting to play basketball. Played junior high basketball, but grew up wanting to be a basketball player.
But this time you was too short.
But pretty much. But I was good.
Okay, I know you was good.
But baseball was more fit. But we grew up playing baseball from the time I was 5. That was the sport that we played. And went all the way through high school, to make a long story short. And then we got to the point where I wanted to, got time to go to college. So I told all my friends that I was going to go play college basketball. They laughed at me. They were like, man, you ain't going to play no college basketball.
You 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah. So, and also my mom, my family wasn't very well. Also, when I told my mom I wanted to go to college, she cried. And she was embarrassed because she thought I was trying to be bigger than what our family was, because nobody in our family had ever gone to college. And she told me that I was out of my zone.
Your mama told you?
My mama told me, she said, why are you trying to do something that none of us have done? She said, why don't you go be a police officer? Or why don't you go join the fire department? Go into college, we can't afford that. And she cried because she thought I was trying to embarrass her or put her in a bad position. And I knew I wanted to go to college because at the end of those magazines, and I wanted to go to college, so I said to her that I'm gonna go to college somehow. In my mind, I don't know where it come from, that the only way you're gonna go to college is play basketball and get a scholarship. So the summer before.
So how old were you when you told your mom you wanted to go?
17.
So you just junior high school?
No, I was 16. I graduated when I was 17 from high school.
Okay.
I graduated when I was 17. And so I told everybody I was going to play college basketball. Nobody believed it. So I got a hold of all the college brochures from Eastern Kentucky University, Western Kentucky University, Murray State, Moorhead, Austin Peay. And I went through those basketball brochures and figured out who signed the least amount of players. And that's how I chose Moorhead, because they had only signed one basketball player. And I remember his name, Eddie Conley. He had signed one basketball player.
Eddie who?
His name was Eddie Conley.
Oh, right.
And they only signed one, so I figured if I go to Moorhead, I could make the team.
That's all you do?
And that's what
that was a good chance.
That was a good chance. Because then freshmen couldn't play varsity ball, so you had to make the freshman team first. So to fast forward everything, I decided to go to Moorhead because they only had signed one player.
So you did some research.
I did research to find out how many players they had signed for the coming year. And it was that one. So I said, if I go to Moorhead, at least I can make a team, because they got to pick 4 other guys. Okay. So I went to Moorhead, and sure enough, that summer, I worked out all summer, to get ready to go. Now, my first year, I had to pay my own way. And so that first summer, I worked for South Central Bell Telephone Company.
You got to be kidding.
And saved my money so that I could go to college. My mom, by that time, went to the Urban League and told the president of the Urban League that my son wants to go to college and we have no money. What do we do? And they put me in a special program for South Central Bell for college-bound students, and gave me that job at South Central Bell, which I worked at all 4 years when I went to college over the summer. I had to go to training school to climb poles and connect phones and everything.
You was doing that kind of work?
In order to be in that program. Because their goal was that when you graduate from college, you would come and work for South Central Bell, which is now, by the way, AT&T.
Right.
Okay. So I did that. I did that for 4 summers. Now, my freshman year, I went to Moorhead. I did make the freshman team.
You did? Did you grow over that summer?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I was probably about 5'8", 5'9", I grew about an inch or 2. So I came, after I made the freshman team that freshman year, I came home that summer of my sophomore year, started working out again. When I got back to campus in the fall, I was 6'3" and 190. When I got back. Between my freshman year and sophomore year. 6 inches from 155, 60 to 190. And the rest is history.
So you was ready then?
Yeah, I was. And I went on to play basketball at Moorhead. Actually, in the Moorhead University. Moorhead State University, Alumni Hall of Fame.
That's good then, all right.
And I went on and did that. And basketball got in my blood. And again, they say,
the rest was history?
The rest is history.
Man.
Basketball history.
Now, but you end up coaching at a high school in Kentucky.
Yes, I did. When I graduated, well, actually, again, that's another story. My major was sociology, and of course, then that was akin to criminal justice and things like that. So I was being recruited at that time by the FBI, the CIA, Postal Inspection Service. I was being recruited by them because with the major in sociology, that was akin to criminal justice and all that. And that's why I was planning to came in and said, when you're about to graduate, did you go get teacher certified? I said, no. I said, I don't want to be no teacher. He said, listen to me. He said, you're an African-American male. And he said, there's going to come a time, if you keep your nose clean, you keep your record clean, and you get teacher certified, you'll always be able to have a job. I was like, well, not really. So anyway, he talked me into it. So, but the catch was that I couldn't graduate in May if I was going to get my teaching certificate, that I had to postpone those 10 hours that I was supposed to take to the summer.
That's a problem.
And do the student teaching semester where you do your student teaching, they take you, and then you go out and student teach, and then you come back and all that. But I did. I decided to do that. So I went to Shawnee High School, did my student teaching. The day I left my student teaching assignment, the principal offered me a job.
Now, people saw something in you.
Now, a job in your hand is better than no job at all.
I said, "Word in the hand."
Yes. And so when I got back and told my professor, he said, "Good." And so when I went to summer, took 10 hours in the summer to graduate in August. I graduated on August the 2nd. On August the 8th, I reported to my job at Shawnee High School, where I was the.
And you was only there for what?
4 weeks. Student teaching.
Okay. Yeah. Now, how long did you work at Shawnee High School?
4 years.
Until what happened?
Okay. In 4 years there, actually my first year I was assistant coach and we won the state championship. My head coach and Muhammad Ali were best friends in high school. Okay. So Muhammad Ali spoke at our banquet. And that's how I really got to know him, because my head basketball coach, his name was William Gordon, and Honeybee we called him Honeybee, we're good friends. He had asked Honeybee to be his manager, and Honeybee decided to leave, but he told me, he said, now you young, you 25 years old, they ain't about to give you this head coaching job. So what I need to do is, I need to stay here until the season starts. And then I will leave in the middle of the season so that you will have a chance and you'll be on your own, because they're not going to give you that job. You're too young. This is Kentucky. And you know, also in Kentucky, there were very few black head coaches in Kentucky.
Even in high school level?
Yeah, high school. So he says, so I'm going to leave in the middle.
So that was a game plan.
That was a game plan. So we were 8-6 when he left. And they had no, in the middle of the season, so they had no other alternative but to name me the interim. And he had told me that. So they named me the interim. And when I took over, we were 8-6, and we played for the regional championship.
All right.
And after that happened, everybody championed for me to get the job. Teachers, students, and I got the head coaching job. And then the next year, when we came, you know, Rudy Macklin played for me.
All right.
And he was a sophomore then.
Hold on. Make sure we say this right. The great Rudy Macklin.
The great Rudy Macklin.
We got you, Rudy.
Yes,
We got you.
he was a sophomore, so next year they became juniors. And we, like I said, went all the way to the regional championship.
So now, what was special about Rudy in high school?
Oh, an animal. I mean, an absolute big time, whatever you want to call it. Oh, tremendous high school player.
So you knew he was going to the next level.
Oh, no question. But I had Rudy since 9th grade.
Oh, man. Okay.
Rudy and his teammate, because in 9th grade we were 17-1 when they were 9th graders. And we lost in the championship game on a jump shot that my younger brother hit.
Your younger brother?
My younger brother hit.
Your younger brother beat you?
Yes, he did. And Rudy knows the story. Rudy talks about it.
Okay.
And then the next year, when Rudy and them were sophomores, we won the JV city championship, went 18-0. Okay. And then my third year, the year we talked about, was when Rudy and them were juniors. We went all the way and lost to the eventual state championship and the regional championship. And of course, when Rudy and them were seniors, we won the district, we won the region, we went to the state. Okay, when they were seniors, and of course that's how I got the coaching.
So you end up. So you only coached that 1 year at the high school
2
as head coach.
2.
2 years.
Yeah.
So now the next year, Dale Brown shows up, recruited Rudy Mack.
Yes, he did.
You didn't know who Dale Brown was?
No, I had no clue.
So,
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
You never heard of LSU at the time, probably. LSU
Probably not, because at that time,
Pistol Pete you might have heard.
not really. At that time it was all Louisville or Kentucky.
Oh, that's right. Y'all dominated. Still dominated.
Yeah, at that time it was either Louisville or Kentucky,
All right, yeah.
or Indiana maybe. But knew nothing about no LSU and all those schools like that. No.
So, now tell us the story how you met Dale Brown. I want to hear that.
Well, again, like I said, at that time I was about 20. At that time I was 25. So, big time. So, I was still playing. I was coaching, but I was still playing ball 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you're a young man.
In the park and going down. So, just one particular day I was down in the park. We was playing basketball. So I called home. I lived with my mom and my grandma. I called to my house to ask my mom if she needed. I was on my way home. If she needed anything, and she said no. But you got these 2 white guys sitting in my living room. I don't know who they are. And you need to come home right now and find out who they are.
If you're the FBI, you don't know who they are.
Yeah, but it was Dale Brown and Art Tovis.
Art Tovis. Okay.
And they had come to make a pitch for me to be the assistant coach at LSU.
Oh, they came for you to make the assistant coach before they came and talked to Rudy?
No, this was after Rudy signed.
Oh, after Rudy signed.
Yeah,
Okay.
contrary to popular opinion, I had nothing to do with Rudy coming to LSU.
You didn't?
No, nothing. And you hear stories about the package deal and all that? No, that wasn't true.
No, so you're going to dispel that whole myth.
But it's the news.
Because you didn't know nothing about LSU at all.
No, it's the news media. That was all Coach Brown, Rudy's dad, and our principal. My principal was a former basketball player.
Because for you, so you should have went to Kentucky, yeah?
Well, no. Well, that's another story. I had already signed the contract to go be the assistant coach at UT Chattanooga.
Huh?
Yeah, I already signed a contract because I had former players who were already at UT Chattanooga, and they won back-to-back Division II championships. So, and then Rudy's 2 teammates had signed with UT Chattanooga. UT Chattanooga, just like LSU, was seeking that next coach who was African American or black or Negro, whatever they called it at the time,
Okay.
To help recruit black players to come to their school. But I'd already signed the contract to go to UT Chattanooga. And this is before Rudy even signed. And that's where I was headed. Until Rudy came and signed at LSU, visited, and called me one day because when Coach Brown first presented it to me, I said, no, I'm good, because I knew I'd already signed the contract to go to UT Chattanooga. So,
And plus with your mom?
and my mom, since she was okay, not Louisiana. So, Rudy was already here. Like I said, contrary to what people say.
So Rudy was already here?
Yeah, Rudy was already here. And contrary to what people say I had nothing at all to do with him coming to LSU. He persuaded me, Rudy, that this was because Rudy knew I was going to UT Chat. But he probably said, Coach, you've got to come and visit. He said, because this ain't nothing like UT Chattanooga. If I'm not mistaken, he had already visited UT Chat. Because I had teammates that were older than him, were already at UT Chattanooga. They were his teammates. So Rudy had already visited UT Chattanooga. Now he was at LSU. He said, Coach, there's no comparison. Because I've never been on an airplane. I had never been out of Kentucky this far. And Rudy was the one who persuaded me.
Rudy's persuaded you
to come to visit.
Rudy got you here basically. That's like,
exactly.
Because you had no interest in coming this
way. Had no interest at all.
Particularly all the stories you heard.
All the stories. Believe me, that was the major reason, and my mom's major reason about all the stories about the Deep South, and particularly Louisiana.
And it wasn't just no stories.
No, it wasn't.
It was reality.
It was. And she knew I had a very progressive, positive, forward attitude. She didn't think that would work well down here because I kind of wasn't taking anything.
Now, what was Dale Brown pitched to you at that time?
That I could make an impact on college basketball. That I could make an impact on young men. And what made them think that I would be the right person is when Coach told us who was recruiting Rudy we would go downtown and eat and things like that. And Coach Thomas told me that every time he said, man, when we be downtown, you and I be standing in the corner, and everybody in the world was speaking to you, Coach Al or Coach A, and you were waving. I come back and I told Dale, I said, Dale, everybody know this guy. This guy got a great personality. We need to think about.
Art Total said that.
Art Total, we need to think about Kim, because we spent every time we out. He said we're eating, we're downtown. He said one day we were downtown. We were standing on the corner. He said, Bill, I promise that every car came back home. Somebody was hollering, hey coach, hey coach, hey coach. And pretty much he told it to Coach Brown, and of course, that's why they were sitting in my victory room on that day. Trying to persuade my mom first. But she wasn't having any of it.
Now, what was your visit to Louisiana, your first visit to Louisiana?
Yes.
And to the deep south, what was that experience like?
Well, first I'm on the airplane, as I said, and they're coming into the Baton Rouge airport. A lot of bells and whistles. There were people there. George Eames.
George Eames, the great George
Eames was there. People were at the airport to greet me when I came in. I want to thank College Temple, Mel Renfro, were there at the airport to meet me that weekend. And that weekend I met Governor Edwards, I met George Eames, I met the president of LSU, I met the athletic director then, it was Carl Maddox. I met a lot of folks that weekend, trying to persuade me to come to LSU.
But that was pretty impressive.
It was very impressive, I have to admit.
Especially
for 25 years.
Yeah, that was on another level.
Who was living with his mom and living with his grandmom.
But plus you coming in, what you would, in your mind, you considered possibly a hostage situation.
Possible hostile
situation. And that, because I know your mind, that's where it's going. Right?
Oh yeah,
that's going.
You almost have to.
Ku Klux Klan, you know.
Yeah.
But although Ku Klux Klan started in Tennessee,
right.
But that's all. But your mind is going back. But people don't realize that we as a people, we always have to be cognizant of that. There's always the forward part of our mind on the possibility of what can happen to us.
Right.
And that's why our mom was always concerned about us.
Right.
You know, because at least get what they call getting out of the way can be a death sentence.
Right.
And so, you know, and talking about in the mid 70s, you know, LSU just started getting black athletes in the earliest, you know, a few years before that.
Right. Because I remember coming here and meeting y'all. It was like, wow, okay, there's another one. You know, seeing the black athletes on the campus. And, you know, there wasn't a lot of us when I first came.
Oh, no, it was a handful.
There wasn't a lot.
It was a handful.
Yes, it was.
But your presence, though, so what brought you to the place? Because, you know, we all know Coach Brown is truly one who cares about all.
Right.
And evidently you had to sense that.
Right, I did. He was very persuasive on what I could do here. And
but although you, in the back of your mind, thinking this white man crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because when he talks and as persuasive as he is,
right.
You know, it's like, okay, really? But I'm really saying this, for me, by the grace of God, this is what he wanted me to do. I really believe that, because nobody else was going to come to LSU.
So you would I was going to go get your free visit, see what was happening.
That's exactly why I came, to get on the airplane ride. And I was very impressed with College Temple, very impressed with Mel Renfro, and that's also where I met Joe Locke.
All right.
During that time coming here, and I was impressed with them. And you know, we out and we about me.
You and Joe still going strong.
Still best friends. And you know, you're out and about, and when you get away from all the people, then they tell you really the way it is. So when we were back with us hanging out, they said, hey man, you need to take this. This is a heck of an opportunity for you. Both Mel and Joe and College told me that. say, hey man, you need to do this. You know.
A young brother.
Yeah. 25 years old.
Yeah, your whole future is before you right now.
25 years old.
And he ended up being there from 1976, 1990 to win.
1990.
1990, that was a good run, huh?
A great run.
A heck of a run. So when you got to Louisiana, you got to tell us about your stay in this great state of Louisiana.
I'll have to admit that this was probably the best time in my life, the best experiences. Being a coach at LSU, enjoying the success that we were able to enjoy, and to know that I was a part of that, mainly as a recruiter, bringing those
great players.
I
mean, you got
to LSU.
A long list.
I mean, it's unbelievable as I look back and think about what we were able to do and who we were able to bring here. And when I first came, I was just a 25-year-old assistant trying to bring the best players around the country, not realizing that our best days would be, and our best players would basically be from Louisiana, because we actually shut that door to kids going out. And my philosophy became getting the best out of Louisiana, the best players, because there were so many around, getting the best out of Louisiana, and then going around the country and being able to bring not anybody, but the best.
Yes, okay.
Dallas, Dwayne Scales.
Oh man, the astronaut.
John Williams from Los Angeles, California.
You went to LA to get big time.
Yeah. Stephon Johnson from Lubbock, Texas. Going to get those kind of kids to bring them to LSU was my mantra. And mixing them with the kids out of Louisiana.
That had to be a joyful time for you, because now you're challenging yourself now.
Oh yeah.
Because now you thinking now, first of all, you got the resources.
Right.
You got the backing of a great university.
Right.
You said, I'm going to get who I want.
And we eventually did.
you can handpick.
We did. Again, one of those myths about paying players, and we didn't do that.
Man, hold on, man. I heard you had a suitcase of money.
Again,
I want to know what the suitcase is. That's all I want to know.
Again, that was my money. That was my money, and it didn't belong to anybody else. Now, I have to admit, once a kid signed and he came to LSU and he was in this environment, they weren't going to go hungry.
No,
they weren't going to go broke.
They took care of them.
But they did. Once they got here.
Ain't no coach had to tell nobody to do that.
No. And once the kids got here.
The people of Louisiana loved LSU.
Yes.
And they looked out for the players.
They looked out for the players.
That's all I'm going to tell you now.
But that's all I'm going to say.
They looked out for
once they got here, you were attacked.
And you was not responsible for nothing.
And we weren't.
You had to tell nobody to go do nothing.
And I wasn't going to run around and tell nobody to do anything.
It happened.
It happened. And I'm proud of that, to really be honest, that when those kids came here, they made connections. Moms and so forth, families made connections. They were able to live better lives because they chose LSU. Okay? And like I said, no player, no athlete that played at LSU is going to want for anything. I'm sorry.
Okay? If they do something wrong, man.
Yeah, right.
Something wrong.
And I think that once we brought them here, the players knew that. And again, all those TV stories and all those comic book stories, about getting paid, about all that, that was all crazy.
And the NCAA went after Coach Brown, not to you to a degree, but not really went after Coach Brown.
Because he was advocating, and yet people were saying that he was cheap. But
you got to tell us story about that.
Okay. So I was going to the cafeteria, which is Bruce Hall E. And this one particular day, I pulled my car in where the sign said staff. So I pulled my car in, and it was in Bruce Hall E. Charlie McClendon came and kind of out loud said, who's Grand Prix is just out here in the staff parking lot. And I said, that's mine. He said, you can't park there. And I said, okay. So I got up, came out, and moved my car. So when I got back to the Assembly Center, I said to Coach Brown, I said, the football coach got after me about parking in this staff spot. He said, what? I said, the football coach got after me about parking in the spot. He said, whoa, no. So he grabbed me by the hand and marched me across the street and right straight, and no secretary, no receptionist, no nothing, into Charlie Mack's office. And said, hey, Charlie Mack, this is my assistant coach, Ron Abernathy. He just told me you told him he could not park in this staff parking lot. And then Charlie was looking at, I love this, and he said, Charlie, don't ever talk to my assistant coaches anymore. If you got a problem with my assistant coaches, you come to me first, and then I'll talk to my assistant coaches. And then Coach Mack told him he didn't know who I was. He didn't know I was a coach. And he kind of apologized. And then Coach Mack said, well, okay, and we left out and came back across the street. But he stood up for me.
But that's what Coach Brown do. He stand up for justice and righteousness.
That's him. That's him.
As always. As always. So,
Yes,
I mean, I don't know if I told you this is that I had to go to court, and Dale Brown stood with me when even the football coaches and the one I was a team captain at LSU my senior year, and nobody showed up on my behalf but Coach Dale Brown, who didn't really know me like that. I didn't play for Coach Dale Brown, but that's the kind of man that we know Coach is.
Yes, he is. He definitely stands up for what's right.
So I mean that is pretty interesting though.
Yes, he does.
Now you got to give us a little bit more history about it. I know when you got to the Baton Rouge, all these beautiful women in Louisiana.
Yes.
So I know there had to be a little encouragement,
A lot of encouragement. I mean, I was single. I was single. I was young. My first 2 years, I was a student working on my master's degree. And of course, you know, and like I said, I'm 25 years old.
I forgot you was going to class with everybody else.
Yeah, I was. I was going to class full time.
You was going to class with everybody else.
I was going to class.
And Mel was going to class too.
Yes, Mel was, and Joe.
Okay.
We were all graduates, and College Temple. We were all graduate students together.
All right.
And we were going to class every day together. And like I said, at that time I was 25 years old. So you were speaking of the young ladies. I mean, hey, we were, right in there. We had a little money and had a nice car, nice apartment. Hey,
What they say, you balling out of control. Coming from Kentucky now, coming down south, you moved on up there.
And I come here, and I'm pretty prominent. And it makes a big difference.
Yeah, and, I mean, you just wouldn't know brother that showed up.
Yeah.
You in the spotlight. But you have to represent, and guess what? You did represent.
Yeah, right. Oh, I did.
In more ways than one. But your personality and the way you talk to people, the way you joke, and you fit right in.
Right.
I mean, you could swear you was from Baton Rouge too. Well, you from Louisiana.
Right.
And that's what everybody remember about you. Now sometimes you got a little arrogant, but you can do that.
Because I'm good, because I was good.
I mean, you can do that though. Then you bring all these great players, people like my partner, like Tony Dwayne Skills, who really I got to have a lot of love and respect for. The way you come hang out, sit there and listen to music all day.
Well, he was my first Big Ten.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dallas, Texas. He was All-American. He was All-American. McDonald's All-American.
So you brought in Dwayne.
Dwayne Skill. Oh, yeah. That was my first big recruit. By myself, on my own.
And he lit it up too.
Oh, lit it up.
Dwayne took basketball to a whole nother level.
To a whole nother level.
Rudy, now I gotta give you credit, my brother. You did your thing. But you and Dwayne together.
Oh, unstoppable.
It's went to another level.
Oh.
Eat the ball at the ham with the basketball.
Howard Carter.
Oh, man.
Mitchell. Leonard Mitchell.
Y'all was rolling. Y'all was balling.
Let me tell you something, man. If you never know what it is to fruit.
Oh, Lionel Green, the tree.
Tree Green.
Talking about the tree.
Al Green.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Al.
Yeah.
Willie Sims.
Right, Willie Sims. And man, you know, you just don't know. Them fellas could play. And they had heart.
But you know, man, what I do remember, what was beautiful for me, is like we all lived in the same dormitory, right? Right. And you know, LSU was just getting, bringing in, the black athletes, so to speak. And we supported each other.
Right.
During basketball season, all the football players, we packed in over there,
exactly.
Because we gonna support our guys, right?
Yeah.
But during football season, the basketball players in the end zone, they cheered for us.
Right.
That's what I remember.
And I was right in the middle. I mean, it was there. That's how I befriended all of you, and yourself, and Greg LaFleur, and just we are kind of like I mixed in, and it was tremendous.
Plus, you used to like throwing parties now. I don't even tell on you now. Well, you used to like throwing parties. You used to throw some of the best parties.
Yeah. We did.
But when they say Coach Abernathy having a party,
now taking us back, now don't just blame it on me, because we all were a part of the fifth quarter.
Oh man!
We all were a part of the fifth quarter.
Now they don't know nothing about that. Tell them about that.
We all were a part of the fifth quarter, and actually, basically, it was for all the LSU athletes to. We not only party, we did some mentoring,
and we was coming together, bringing us together, because it was a way of bringing really all black athletes.
It was,
and to have a voice at LSU.
Right.
We felt a little bit disenfranchised.
Yes, well, no, a little bit we were. We were, and that was an organization called the Fifth Quarter. It was basically for athletes who, left LSU or eligibility was out, and we was trying to bring some dignity, and not only for ourselves, but to protect the incoming athletes who were coming in to have that voice. And a party just happened to be
we gonna party too. We gonna party.
We just said we're gonna make a little party too.
But we met with the administrations a couple times.
Yes, we did. Oh yeah, we did. We sure did.
We shook them up too.
We shook them up.
Yeah, I want to let y'all know we shook them up.
And that was nothing negative about. We never received anything negative. It was everything was pretty positive.
Now what happened? They outsmarted us. Once they hired a few of our guys.
Yeah, they did.
It went south.
They
LSU hired a few of our guys out the club.
Out the club.
And that was because that was one of the things we was fighting for.
Right.
Was that we got all these great guys here, great people, great athletes, and you tell me you can't find one or two to hire when you hire everybody else.
Exactly.
Because that was no black in administration, I don't think.
No.
Besides you.
Besides me.
But you was a coach, but not really administration.
No, I wasn't.
So I mean, so we decided that we need to champion together for this. So we started the fifth quarter. I forgot all about that, my brother.
Yeah, I remember. We all came together.
Oh, Joe Lott. Joe Lott was a part of that too. Man, we got
Tracy Porter, Greg LaFleur, myself, you,
Charles
Alexander.
I think Rudy.
Rudy.
I got a lot of guys.
Rudy.
I think that table was about 20 of us.
Hey, man, I remember we had that meeting at that table. It was like, you look around, that table was strong. That table was strong. And we got some things done. Yeah. They made some moves. Like you said, they kind of put a pin in our balloon when they hired some of our folks out. Yeah.
Then you went down there and called some Rutgers. No, that wasn't you. That was what the guy named Mike Mallett. That was Mike. Yeah, Mike was part of it.
Mike was too.
I forgot that was not you. There was Mike with that. Mike was that strong.
Mike was strong. Mike was strong.
I forgot that. That's just coming back to it.
Yeah, Mike was strong.
Yeah. I hope we better leave that alone, man. But that was good though, man. That showed that we was able to organize, come together, and draw our own game plan and go and deal with some people.
Be productive.
Yes, we support LSU.
Right.
So we know we just giving some ideas on how you can make things better for all. That's kind of what we was doing.
Right.
You're not fighting against the LSU.
No, and we were.
We all on the same team.
Yeah, we were sure.
Man, that's interesting. And you done brought me back now. Okay. But you at LSU, oh man, I mean, that was almost 20 years?
No, 15.
15 years, 76 to
Well, actually,
16 years.
Yeah.
16 years you did. Now, when you left LSU, I remember you came to me now. This is what you came, I remember you came to me. You said, man, look, Southern University offered me a job.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You don't remember what I told you?
I can't recall.
I said, well, don't take
Don't
that
job.
Don't take because I knew your mindset.
Right.
Understand?
I remember you telling me don't take that job.
Because I knew your mindset.
I remember that.
You like you say, you don't. That's not where you're at. You're here.
Right.
It's hard for you to kind of like, second class. I mean,
right.
You was kind of used to something. I said,
right.
I said,
No, not kind of used to it.
I said, brother, you don't need to do that.
I remember that.
And I wanted you to do it because it was a great opportunity for Southern,
right,
and for for the state,
right,
because that was before Ben Joe. Ben Joe had just left.
Ben just left.
And just left. Ben Joe had just left. Yeah, so I do remember that.
Yeah.
So we had a lot going on. We think about it.
Oh yeah.
We had some things going on.
Yeah, we did.
So now, but your stay here was for a good while. But you was moving on. You done your service at LSU for 16 years. That's a long run at one major university.
Oh yeah.
So you went on to Tennessee State.
Tennessee State.
Now what was that like for you?
Oh, I'm kind of like Deion Sanders. That HBCU experience was not very good.
It was not good.
Because as you said, and you reminded me earlier, that the standard that I was used to, the standard I was operating out of, once I got there, it was non-existent.
And you couldn't get no help.
And
You couldn't do nothing to help that situation.
Couldn't do anything to help it. And even trying to persuade them that if I'm going, everybody goes. But there wasn't any hearing that.
And you was considered an outsider too.
I was considered an outsider.
So who are you?
Because I came from. Now, in all due respect, the president, Dr. Otis Floyd, who hired me, him and Coach Brown were in cahoots about getting me hired at Tennessee State. He was great to me my first year there. He gave me everything that I needed to be successful. But he left after the first year. And all those people he told to make sure that I had what I needed the first year, when he was gone, they were like, he ain't here, so you ain't getting what
Yes, well.
And that's where his downfall began. That's where.
So you had to fight. You fight.
Yeah, I did. And again, I was 38 at this time. And that was not fun. That was not, I was working hard every day. And even was told, man, you working too hard, man. Slow down, And I'd be like, really? Because I'd be working.
So you raised the standards.
Yeah, raise the standards.
Discipline, teamwork,
camaraderie, loyalty to each
time
into each other. And in spite of that, we had some great victories. My 2 years there, we had some great victories. We had some great victories in my 2 years there with what I had, which I knew those victories we had was progress in spite of. We had, for example, we went into Murray State and beat Murray State at Murray State, and they were the #1 team in the conference. We beat Austin Peay by 20. So, even as negative as it was, we still were able to be successful to the point we knew you could do it.
All right. But what's interesting at that time to me, for a coach of your caliber, and on your level, once you left LSU, there was not many opportunities.
Right.
That's the sad thing.
No, we're not.
About that.
Nope.
I mean, once you left LSU, you literally on your own. I know Coach Brown will fight for you, but he only can fight in a realm that's of his reach.
Exactly. Zero.
It's not like he used a white coach.
Right.
And leaving LSU,
Right.
somebody will pick you up, right?
But let's don't sugarcoat that.
Okay.
That was the fact. That was the fact, and has been the fact, and remains that throughout my career.
It still exists because as soon as a black coach do something bad, the whole career is over with.
Oh, it still exists, and you know the white coaches can do something and get hired over, and can do the ultimate worst and still get hired again. And I guess if I'm gonna do what they doing, I guess I can be successful too. Instead of trying to do it the right way. But you know, the white coaches get away with a lot more than we can. You know, and the things we do, and sometimes even when they mistakes, our mishaps, we still pay for it.
Suffer for it.
Still suffer for it. That's
Now, as a man, and as I know you're a brother of high standards. You hold yourself at a high standard, and you hold others. Now, as you had to matriculate through life, knowing the great Ron, you left a place where you was highly, esteemed and respected.
right.
And when you going out, you thinking that's coming with you, no matter where you go.
Right.
That's you've always brought that with you.
Right.
That's just who you are.
Right.
From when you say you bought your first suit, coaching high school. Now, but when you leave LSU, you ain't got none of that.
No.
None of that. What is that like? Where do that put you at as a man?
Well, for me, once you sever those ties, as they say, you either have to sink or swim. And I chose just, not to look behind me, not to look back, to look forward and make the best out of what I can with what I got. By the grace of God, able to do that. But, I got out of coaching for a little while.
Well, I didn't know that. That's right.
Because I was upset with how I was treated at Tennessee State. I was upset with how things went basketball-wise. And I just decided, I ain't even going to coach no more.
That had to be tough. That's all you know.
Yeah.
That's your life.
That was my life.
People call you coach.
Yeah, they do.
So
even while I wasn't coaching,
they're gonna call you coach.
And so from 1992 to approximately 92, 93 to 94, I didn't coach at all.
That's when you came back to Louisiana?
That's when I came back to Louisiana.
That's when you worked with my partner, Lynn Gary.
With the governor, with Edward Edwards.
Now what y'all do? I forgot what that was.
I was the middle director of Let's Save Louisiana Youth. And it was a program for at-risk kids. And if you remember, I put all y'all together it was a program where we go to the high schools, speak to the students about the importance of staying in school, getting their degrees. And if you remember, I enlisted yourself and Greg and Doug Wills was my partner with that program. And we just traveled the state speaking to students.
I just remember that you was with them. Yeah. And you was doing that through Southeastern University. Yeah, I remember you had to get up and drive there every day.
Every day.
Okay, I remember that.
You had to drive there every day. And, I did that for a year before moving to Florida.
Now, what made you move to Florida?
Well, I moved to Florida because my lawyer, who's my agent, he's from Tampa. And at that time, he said, well, look, why don't you just go on and move to Tampa and chill out for a little while, and you can decide what you want to do from there. And that's what I did. I moved to Tampa. And now now 2 years have passed, and I'm kind of getting that coaching itch
again. Okay, go on.
Getting that coach itch again. So he used some of his connections at the school boards to call and, see about job opens. Of course, there were a lot. My first week there, I must have had 11 interviews, and I finally had to choose a job. And he told me, he said, man, you didn't want to get back in coaching, so I got a job for you. He said, all you got to do is go, because they already know who you are. Your resume speaks for yourself. They know who you are, and they're waiting for you. And that's when we moved to Tampa, and I coached there for 4 years in Tampa, high school.
So you went to high school?
Went back to high school.
What high school you was at in Tampa?
I first went to River Ridge High School, which is in Newport Richey, Florida. There for 2 years.
I mean, you and I was talking on a regular then.
Yeah, we were. And I went to River Ridge first, and then I got out of coaching again and became an administrator, educational administrator. Became a headmaster of a private academy. Became a corporate vice president of an educational company. And thought I was doing basketball again. And another one of my great friends who lives in St. Petersburg called me and said, man, you need to coach. I got a job for you. Dixie Hollins High School is waiting for you. All you got to do is call. So I remember calling, and I go to the assistant principal, go to the principal's office. He's got a stack of resumes like this for that job at Dixie Hollins High School. He said, but yours is on top. We need you. We need your character. We need your expertise, because that was in South St. Pete, where the projects are predominantly white. They had bust those predominantly black.
I was about to say, okay,
Predominantly black, but they had bust these kids to predominantly white Dixie Hollins. So you can imagine what kind of atmosphere that was. Blacks from South St. Pete to Dixie Hollins High School, which was considered quote unquote racist part of Florida, and they put them together. And the principal was a former head football coach at Virginia Tech. And he was the new principal. And when I wouldn't talk, he said, man, I need you here. I need you being strong man. And he hired me. And of course, I was there for 4 years and turned it around. And then I was in my yard mowing one day. My wife and I built the house, and I was mowing the yard. She comes to the door and she said, Ron, she said, there's some Wesley McClure wants you on the phone. I said, who? She said, Dr. Wesley McClure. I said, Dr. McClure? And so I go to the phone. You know who Dr. McClure is?
From LSU?
Southern.
Okay.
That was the president of Southern University.
I don't remember him.
Dr. Wesley McClure. Okay, he was the president of Southern University when I was here at LSU.
Okay then.
Yeah, and so he was the president at Lane College, along with Dr. Vicky.
Oh yeah.
Along with Dr. Vicky Lott.
Okay.
She was his vice president, which was
Vicky Lott?
My best friend's ex-wife. She was the vice president.
Okay then.
And they both called me and said, we need you to come to Lane College to be the AD and the head boys basketball coach. And this was a chance to get back to college.
That's where you've been?
That's why I took it.
Okay.
I took it. And for 4 years.
Now where's that?
Jackson, Tennessee.
Jackson, Tennessee. Okay.
And I took that job. First year we were 6-22. The next year we played for the championship of the conference.
You was coach of the year. You was coach of the year.
From last to first. That school, that record still standing.
In 1 year, you take over.
1 year.
Now hold on. I forgot. Also in high school, from what I read, you were not just the coach of the year or the champion coach of the year.
Right.
In high school, as a young man, also you was a teacher of the year.
Teacher of the year, actually.
You're in high school. Your early days.
Yeah, early days. But I got something for you better than that. You know, I coach now. And I just was, 2 weeks ago, they was Teacher of the Month.
teach them to run.
Last month.
You still doing it like that, man?
Yeah, last month.
Congratulations.
But anyway, yeah, so.
You still on that level. You're going to the next level.
Yeah. But anyway, Dr. McClure was the president at Lane.
I know Dr. McClure.
And Vicky, they persuaded me to come to Lane College. And I'm the witness coaching the school's history at Lane College. And I was there for 4 years.
In 4 years, you take the whole program?
No, this happened in 2 years. The first year I coached, we were last. We were 6-18. The next year we played for the championship in the conference tournament goal and went 22-8.
Same players?
No. My players had the first year I ran them all off. Everybody. And the coaches.
Well, you didn't have the porter, the transfer porter?
No, I went out and recruited those kids to come. And
you turned that whole program around?
Yeah, when I recruited.
Are you still there?
No, I left there, and where I'm currently at, I've been there 10 years. Where I'm currently at 10 years, and this season coming up in my 10th year, 16 wins, I have 200 victories in this 10 years. And currently where I am, I've been the district coach of the year 3+ times. I'm the West Tennessee boys basketball. I've been the West Tennessee boys basketball coach of the year. 2020, I was the Tennessee TSSAA State Boys Coach of the Year.
You still doing it out.
And like I said, right now we won 186 games in 10 years. And we 16 away from 200 victories.
So you can't stop nothing.
And this year, my team this year will probably be AP #1 ranked in the state of Tennessee.
So you enjoy this?
I do. I love it. I still love it.
You still love the game?
I still love it, still enjoy
It
it.
just gives you a purpose.
It does.
It impacting the lives.
Lately have realized that I can be an impact on young men's lives. More than that than before. I've always felt I've impacted young men's lives, but now it's really important that you do, because they go astray so easily. They get off the bricks so easily. Now it's more important, and I feel more bought in now because it's so crucial.
The need for you.
It's crucial because most young men don't have a father figure, don't have a role model. It is very crucial, and that's how I run my basketball program now.
That's amazing. Once you get them out there on the basketball court, football field, whatever they're at, give them a purpose.
Yes, a purpose.
And they're excited about it. You can handle them because now they want to play. They want to be a part of this.
They want to be a part of a winner.
And particularly, but they know somebody that cares.
Of course, I'm old school.
Yeah.
I'm old school. My team, we dress alike.
You still doing it like that?
Yes, sir. We dress alike from game day warm-up suits that all look alike to game day walking shoes that all look alike.
Every time the coach like to look good.
Hey. Even down to socks. Everybody wear the same socks.
You can't just go out and look at it.
And they know that. And they police each other. And man, there was a couple of instances a player may lose his socks. I miss him to be like, and they dress, we get to come on the floor. One of the players said, "Another man, that ain't no flag." Oh, he gonna say, "All right, we warning you." And the other day, one of my coaches was saying, he was joking that we were coming out of the locker room in the tunnel. He looked down and saw one of the kids with the wrong socks on. So he said to him, "Man, you better go with the right socks on." He's like, "My coach won't see it." He said, one of the players looked at him and said, "Man, that ain't gonna fly." And about that time, I come up, I see it. And I was like, "Man, you lost your man." So he had the wrong shoes on. But that particular time, the girls and the boys wore the same shoes. So he borrowed a pair of the girls' shoes to play in.
Oh, he wanted to play?
Yeah, because he wasn't going to play.
He
wasn't going to play, so we wore the same warm-up suits. New Balance sponsors us. So we wore the same warm-up suits. We wore the same socks. We wore the same game day walking shoes. Like when we get off the bus, everybody's shoes are the same. And warm-up is the same. the belts are the same. We
You want to look good now. So
yeah.
That's just part of you then.
Yep, and then we play that way.
But not just that. We gonna go down here and kick some butts too.
Yeah.
So we gonna look good, do it.
That's the MO. No apologies.
We gonna look good, do it. We gonna look good.
Yes.
While we kicking your butt.
Yeah. That's the purpose. And it's the purpose is not only learning about basketball, but learning about life, how to overcome. Because if you get knocked down, you can't lay there. You got to get up. Because if you lay there, you get stepped on. You got to get up. And
there's no option.
What I like to teach these kids, and I become more, like I said, aware of their needing those life skills now than ever.
Yeah. So you make conscious efforts.
I do.
Particularly when you get to know all your players.
Yeah.
You know their strengths.
And every one of them is an individual. I hear people say, treat them all alike.
That's impossible.
Oh, that is not going to work.
Some got stronger personality.
And when I hear somebody say that, I be like, really? That is not going to work. Because I know I can yell at you and scream at you, and you don't say, yes, sir. I can yell at the next player and scream at you, and we're going to problem. Okay? And as a coach and staff, you got to know.
You got to know. You know your players.
That's more important than the X and the O's. And I pride myself on doing that. Knowing the kids, talking with them, communicating with them, and therefore I can drive them on the court and drive them to be.
And you know how far to take it.
And how far to take it.
Now, what is your thought on the NIL and the transfer portal?
I hate them both.
You hate them?
Don't like them.
It hurt a lot of high school.
It hurts me like high school tremendous. Now, I don't like it. I wouldn't vote for it. I would vote to disband it. I would vote to go back to the transfer. Go back to making kids, if you transfer, sitting out a year. Because I believe it's teaching kids the wrong things. Because again, every kid's not alike. You got some kids getting money, some kids not. That's got to bring about different human attitudes and different behavior. You got some kids do it, some kids don't. You got kids who, if it don't work right here, I'm gonna transfer somewhere else. That's what you got, utter chaos. But you got a lot of people making decisions that in the front office that are not that that's not enough either. But where the things are now, I wouldn't tell a kid not to. Okay, I don't like it. I don't think it's good for college sports. I think eventually it's going to destroy the amateurism in college sports. Eventually,
We're going to have to. There's no such thing as amateur sports.
Yeah, and then the meaning is gone from the game. And of course we see that now, with the programs and kids are visual nowadays, and whatever looks good, that's what they want on the surface.
Tell us how the transfer portal affected high school.
For now, pretty much it's real tough for a high school kid to get a scholarship now, because with the transfer portal, you got kids that are pretty much in played a year or 2 or 3. You got the graduate transfers who will play 4 years, and those kids are experienced. Compared, you're talking about a kid who's a graduate transfer is probably 22, compared to a 17-year-old kid. The physicality is different. The mental capacity is different. So, what would you rather do? Take a freshman or a kid who's more mature?
So now,
and the results have shown that when you look at the NCAA tournament in basketball, most of your teams who get to advance further are experienced teams.
An experienced team. Even in college football.
Yeah, I don't know about football, but I know in basketball, you see the 5th and the 6th-year players, when they do the profile, like, whoa, this is a 6th year.
Yeah, you're 22-year-old playing against a 17-year-old.
Exactly what it boils down to.
Yeah. So you basically on the NFL stands playing with it.
Yeah.
Now, for a scholarship for high schools, they'd have been reduced. You only got a few basketball players.
Right.
So if you're not in the top elite, your chances of getting the college scholarship,
Are diminished.
you can't even help a lot of players like you used to.
No, you can't, because it's impossible to. The best route now, I think, for kids for basketball is to go to the college route. Because most of them don't want to sit out either. And a freshman who goes to a Division I program is good, he ain't going to play right away. He's going to sit a year or two. And most of them don't want to do that. And then most coaches ain't going to waste a scholarship on the kid who's going to sit a year or two.
No, they can get people who can play right now.
They can get people to play.
So why not?
Well, so why not? Yeah.
So you said that high school scholarships for high school students have been diminished. What percentage do you just guess that?
Percentage-wise.
25%?
Oh no, a lot bigger than that.
Bigger than that?
Yeah, because you know, how many high school kids you hear right now signing a scholarship for basketball?
You don't really hear.
You don't really hear.
You got to be.
You got to be.
You know, because they're a dog.
No, you just got to be top tier, number one, top 5 in order to get a scholarship offer to a Division I school. And then again, the chance of you playing are kind of slim because the talent level, the maturity level. You know, even if you are a great athlete, you're still not mature in your mind, you're still not mature in your heart to compete against a 22 or 23-year-old.
So the junior colleges and the small colleges are the ones who get the top players now.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would say that.
That's interesting. Man.
Yeah, I would say that, especially your junior colleges now. You know, your junior colleges, even the smaller school kids that they can play on a bigger level. So they want to transfer, you know, somewhere bigger.
Yeah, everybody will go bigger. Right?
Yeah, then with the NIL, if you go bigger, you make a little money somewhere.
But also what's happening too, the players at the bigger schools are going to the smaller schools to make sure they play.
To make sure they play.
And they go there and they show out.
To make sure they get noticed.
Yeah.
That's what the bottom line is.
So I mean,
That's what their ultimate goal.
So it's working on all sides and all levels.
Yeah.
But is there enough money to take care of all these players?
I don't know. But it's like anything else. It'll run out.
It'll run its course.
It will run its course.
Well, you know, I just said the simple, I guess I'm for players getting paid. Just like coaches can go to
Right.
college
Right.
and get paid top dollar, so the players should have options.
Right.
But I think that the money needs to go into one big kitty.
Right, because the NIL is not the answer.
Yeah, I mean, and you can split the money
Yes.
with the players, because you know players need to get something. Everybody else getting paid,
Hey.
and you can split the money. And the top player that you know who the drawing card, yeah, you got to take care of him. Get him a big up the percentage, but not to take it all.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's everybody. There's no such thing as no one player unless you're playing tennis or something like that. Other than basketball, football, baseball is a team.
And humanity says that, you know, you got one kid getting all this money, the next kid ain't getting none. I mean,
It will cause some problems.
it's gonna cause some problems.
There'll be some problems in that locker room.
That's human nature. It's gonna cause some problems.
I'm doing, because you can't get this without me.
Exactly.
If I don't block, if I don't catch the ball, if I don't do this, you don't.
Exactly.
So we'll see where that goes.
Right.
We'll definitely see. Now you still doing some of your singing, and I know you attended Mount Zion Baptist Church, not Mount Zion, Shiloh Baptist Church, under the great Charles T. Smith. While you were here, you sung in the choir, and solo singer. Everybody enjoyed to hear the great Ron Abernathy sing. You love to sing.
Yes, I do.
You still doing some of that?
Yeah, I still do. Voice is better now.
Oh, Lord.
More refined. Sing with more.
Also, I remember when you was in the Baton Rouge area, you done a play. I think Supper. Wasn't that Dr.
Valerian Smith?
Dr. Valerian Smith. I mean, that was a bad boy. Now, you was one of the key people in that play.
Wow, Mike. I played Mike. Actually, I sing.
You sang, I mean, that was a big thing.
I danced.
Well, you was a dancer too?
No, out that part called for a dance.
Oh, okay then.
With the dance, you know. I had never danced before.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But he taught me how. I loved it.
Okay then, okay.
You know, I loved it. Yes, I did. You know, and for those of you who don't know it, you know, Dr. Valerian Smith is the dad of Miss Lynn Whitfield.
Yeah, Lynn Whitfield, a great actor from this area.
Yeah.
And his mother is Jean Butler.
Jean Butler. Yeah, but yeah, man, that was a great play. That play.
Oh
was
man,
so
we always was excited about going down there.
Man,
everybody. I mean, it was big.
It was big.
Did y'all go
on the road?
Y'all went on the road for a while. I remember that.
All the way to California.
That must have been the mid-90s, early 90s.
That was the
late 80s.
That was the late 80s.
That was the late 80s, early 90s.
Late 80s, early 90s. That was late 80s. No, that was the early 80s. And
early 80s.
Yeah.
I just remember Dr. Smith always come by my restaurant, and he was sitting there, you know, he was cool. You know, Doc was cool. Doc wore his hat all the time.
Yeah.
He said, man, you know, I love this restaurant. And, I'm going to have to write you a jingle. Well, you used to come to the restaurant all the time, too.
Yeah,
man. You used to come, you supported, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did. That was, you know, I remember Dr. Valerian Smith, I was singing one day, and he stopped and we were rehearsing, and he's like, man, you take my songs to where they ain't never been, you know. And boy, I enjoyed it. That was a great time. And actually, Coach Brown encouraged me to do that.
You gotta be kidding.
I want to think that he called Valerian and told him, and Valerian said something like, you know, Ron can sing. He said, oh yeah. And he told me to come for an audition. And I remember him playing. And when I got through, he goes like, really? Wow. You taking my songs where they ain't never been before.
So that's how that can happen.
Yeah.
And that was big time.
Yeah, because you remember we played for about 17 days in a row at LSU?
Man, I don't remember. I just remember y'all was rolling.
That was downtown, the little theater. But then we played LSU for about 7 days, 7 nights, sold out nights in a row where the governor was there. Because I remember when I performed that night, the next day I got a letter from the governor's office, and a lot of folks was like, wow.
You doing it big. That was big.
That was, man.
I mean, that really got, we thought y'all was going to Broadway.
Hey, man, look here, man. Just behind the scenes, I had never worn makeup before. And it was tremendous.
I mean, I just remember.
Played in New Orleans.
That was big. That was really, man, I just remember y'all became, it was big news. Y'all was on all media.
Yeah,
I mean, the community was excited about it.
They supported it, man. Sold out every night. Every time that curtain drew, and I stepped on that stage, be like, wow, man.
You love that too.
I did. You know, and my parents came from Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
We went to Los Angeles. I had friends come from Los Angeles.
Y'all played in Los Angeles?
Yeah, Los Angeles, yeah. And then friends came from hey, man, it was great.
So what was the atmosphere like in Los Angeles?
Same.
Y'all created that same energy.
Same energy. I don't know if you don't recall, did you come to LSU when we were there, play that?
I came to one downtown.
Theater.
I came to two, downtown and LSU.
See, that thing ran for about 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row. We did it for
the
season. Yeah, we did it for the season. Then it was over, but every year we did supper.
I remember it went on for a while. I just can't remember why that went.
Yeah, every year we did supper. You know, and man, the same results.
So Dr. Valerian wrote the play?
Dr. Valerian Smith wrote
the whole thing.
He wrote that. Music and scripts and wrote.
You got a video of it?
I do not.
Have you seen it since?
No.
You gotta be kidding.
I have not.
Somebody got to get this.
Somebody's got to. I just had never really thought about it, but somebody got to.
You give his daughter Kim a call. Kim might have it.
Kim might have it.
Yeah, Kim might have it.
Yeah.
That was what the hell? That's 40 years ago.
It was 40 years ago. Tremendous, man.
I mean, y'all was doing big. It
was.
Man, y'all felt like Hollywood. Y'all really did.
Man, I remember that well.
So now, who played next lead next to you? I don't remember who
It was a girl. I can't remember her name. She was my wife.
Yeah, I can't remember the name either.
I can't remember her. I can't remember her name. You take us back, but yeah, she was my wife, and
that was a great experience.
That was a great experience.
Now you thought about going to Hollywood after that?
I did. I did. If it hadn't been for coaching basketball, if it had not been for coaching basketball.
He said, man, I don't know about talent.
If it had not been for being the coach of LSU, I would have tried.
You went for it, huh?
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Because you figure, if I've done this,
yeah.
what else can I do?
Yeah, and we got paid for it.
Well, I did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we did.
Because y'all put a lot into it. Y'all practice on the record.
We did. We put a lot into it. We got paid for it.
Dr. Smith would stop by, some of the crew would stop by afterwards. They come by and eat. And that's kind of how I kept up with, that's kind of how I knew, because, I used to get a lot of support from our community.
Right.
That's how I would know.
Oh, man, it was a tremendous opportunity.
Anything else like that you was involved with that you remember? On that, to that magnitude?
No. That was the biggest. It was right in the middle of my heart of my life. Right here.
And you was coaching at the time.
I was. Yeah.
That required a whole lot.
It did, but Coach Brown was in favor. I remember he persuaded me to do it. He came a couple of times, and he's like, "Man, I can't believe that was you up there," And then the players came, and they be like, "Wow," I never remember. I got Edward was the governor one time. I remember I got left from him. I was like, "Man, Ronald, you were great. Just want to thank you for carrying the banner for our great state of Louisiana."
But that did a lot for you.
Oh, yeah.
You still a young man.
Oh, yeah, I still was young. Oh,
like, man, I gotta look a little bit further into this then.
Yeah. And it was a tremendous opportunity. And I remember belting out the song.
What was your favorite song?
Wow, now you got me thinking. Because I had more than one. I had about four songs that I sang. I remember the dance routine. We kind of went left, kick, back. Yeah. And I had never done it before. I was scared to death because I didn't never dance before.
Well, all the parts you would get.
Coach, you had to practice. This is different
choreography.
Yeah, it's choreography. Because you had to go step, and you couldn't miss a beat.
Because
I was dancing with 3 other guys.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so all you had to look at, because remember when we did this, we all had to go the same way, the same time, back here the same time, kick, up, 2, 3, kick, back, it was something.
What are some another great highlight of your stay in Louisiana?
Now you did ask me. I did do backup for Eddie Cantor. Junior night.
The great singer, Eddie.
Yeah. They came through a tour, the reunion tour, and they needed backup singers. And someone called me, and I was with 2 other girls. We did the backup to Gene Knight, Mr. Big Stuff.
Eddie Cantor. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, and Eddie Cantor. When the night has come, stand by me.
Look at say that for me.
When the night has come and the moon is bright and the light and the moon of the light is the only thing you'll see. I won't cry. I won't cry.
Oh,
no, I won't shed a tear just as long as you stand by me. Yeah.
All right. That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
You brought tears to my eyes. Old man still going strong, man.
Yeah.
So you had to practice that first, or you just?
Oh no, you had to practice because I remember they called us and we must have had a day to practice.
A day to practice?
One day, yeah. And we practiced all day and all night, and then got ready because now that tape is on TV because it's been played before. People told me they saw me.
Okay.
Because it was taped for the
So
reunion.
it must be on YouTube.
YouTube on PBS channel.
I ain't never seen that.
Yeah,
I know you.
but I was background. Yeah.
Oh, I still can see you in the
I was with two
background.
girls. Yeah, but they taped that, so we had to practice all day and all night for taping.
Now, did you have a desire to pursue your singing career?
I did, but I love basketball so much that that kind of got in the way a little bit.
Well, do you think you would have made a good soloist?
Oh yeah, I think yeah.
So how did you get into singing in the first place?
Well, it's just a matter of somebody discovering you and you making a recording, and then you go from there.
No, I'm saying, but what made you think I can sing?
Oh, I've been singing since I was a little boy.
Everybody in your family can sing?
Oh yeah.
Your
Mom played piano.
Oh, your mom played piano.
My brother who played football played the piano.
Now, what's your two brothers' name?
Ben is my youngest brother. I mean, Ben is my brother just a year younger than I am.
Okay.
And Michael is my brother who's 6 years younger than I. Michael's the football player.
Oh, so you're the oldest then?
I'm the oldest.
But your dad named the youngest after him?
Yeah. Yeah, he did, but it wasn't a junior.
Oh, okay.
That was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. That's been a family dynamic for a long time, and I wondered that.
Now, your family grew up from Kentucky, or they just moved there?
My mom was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. My mom grew up, she had 16 uncles. My grandmother had 16 brothers, and it was 2 girls. My mom
That's
was
18 people.
My mom, yeah, that was on my mom's side, who was born and raised in Kentucky, Louisville, in the city. My dad was born and raised in Tennessee, in the country. And my dad was the baby of 22 kids.
It's a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Good Lord. So between two families, y'all had 40 people.
Oh yeah. My dad was the baby of 22.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, how many children you have?
I have 1 daughter and 1 son.
Yeah, you ain't got on your job, man. you messed everything up.
Yeah.
So how your daughter's the youngest?
No, my daughter is 37.
How old is your son?
He's 22.
22. Old man was 22.
Yeah, he is.
All right.
Great kid. My son is a baseball player, basketball. He's athlete. He played for me in high school. As a matter of fact, where I currently am, he led my team to the championship game.
Now, that's had to be okay.
It was great. And so he actually played junior college basketball for 3 years, and he got the COVID year. And then he went to the University of New Mexico, Highlands, and plays baseball.
He went from basketball to baseball?
Well, he's been playing baseball since he was 5, but he decides that he gets a scholarship to play baseball. So this year he decides he wants to play basketball again.
Well, he got like his dad, he can do that.
Yeah, he wants to play, but I prefer for him to play baseball.
Yeah,
Okay.
opportunity.
Because he's 6'2". In basketball, he's small.
Oh, okay.
In baseball, he's a giant.
Okay.
And in baseball, he's a middle fielder, shortstop, second baseman.
Oh, shucks.
He can play.
And he got a bat.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He's a great kid. He's an honor student, honor roll student in high school, 22 on his ACT. I mean, he was sharp kid.
He get it from his dad. Man, well learned, well raised. He was a well raised man.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, he's a good kid.
Now, you are truly miss a lot of friends and people that we all knew, hung with. I can't even start calling names because people will get mad at me.
I know.
Because we can't know where we gonna cover. We know where we can cover. But of course, we had a lot of folks that, but you the great Ron Abernathy.
Thank you.
And you truly are a legend in this area. As much as you kind of hate that towards that end time, all that the negative stuff started happening.
Right.
Why does it always happen to us? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of, in that thing that you remember the most because it happened at the end.
Right.
But your days here was really you brought a lot of young brothers to another level because of your style, your class, and the dignity. You know how to talk to people. You wouldn't kind of holler and fuss and cuss.
No.
You kind of soft talking, easy talking guy. But if you had to, you'd do what you had to do.
Oh, yeah.
So you were pretty versatile.
I just ask my basketball players that.
You was pretty well. But we also, we got a chance to see all the great players. I mean, from the Mac, the Rudy Mac to the Dwayne Skills, and all our boys and young men who are grown. And I mean, what we call him? What time it was? Chris Jackson.
And people always talk about that, and that's amazing. My very first recruit was Dwayne Skills. And of course, from where Dwayne became Leonard Mitchell and Howard Carter and Ethan Martin. But my last class was Chris Jackson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Stanley Roberts.
Well, what a way to leave out.
That was my last class.
3 greats.
3 greats. They all played in the NBA.
And all left. They left early too.
Yeah.
When they were just kind of becoming a new thing.
Yeah. All 3 of them.
Now Stanley should have played much longer.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, but all of them played.
But all 3 of them.
As a matter of fact, Chris still played.
Yeah. All of them played on that team played in the NBA.
I was still mad y'all didn't win the championship that year.
Yeah, that's true.
Still mad about that. Yeah. We thought that was gonna be that year.
Right.
I mean, we really thought that was gonna be that year.
Yeah.
And it got there.
Yeah.
Didn't close the business.
It's awfully hard to do it.
But that's amazing, bro. But what that in LSU, that championship eluded you.
Right.
How did that affect you now?
It doesn't, because SEC is tough. And we won 4 SEC championships. That's a lot. 4.
You played against Kentucky, Auburn, all that.
Georgia, everybody.
Everybody.
Then we won the SEC tournament championship. And I mean, when you win the championship, bring that trophy home and get a ring. And then we go to the Final Four twice. And then we're 1 point away from going back to back. Because we win in 86. In 87, we lost on that last second shot. Steve Alford with Indiana. Yeah. We lost on that last second shot, and we'd have been back to back Final Fours. That was 86, 87. So I mean, just like the NBA player that's never won the NBA championship, you won some championships. You satisfied. For me, yes, I would love to win it, but I got a lot more things to show for it.
But look, I remember this particular game. The year where when LSU was entertaining Auburn in Baton Rouge that year, and Charles Barkley was coming to town, right? So Charles was a big old boy at the time. We're gonna go see this big old fat guy, right? Charles jumping out of that gym. He surprised everybody.
Yeah.
And they beat us. Quite, quite convincingly.
To this day, I recruited Charles Barkley.
All right.
But that was Scales then. I mean, Charles,
But if you had him too, though.
Oh yeah.
Man,
but Charles would have fit in with us. Charles won the ball.
Oh yeah.
Charles wanted to. You know what I'm saying? He was a ball hog, and plus he couldn't run with us. I mean, we had them. And to this day, when I see him in the airport,
you see him?
I see him here with a joke. Now hey Charles, because I'm still mad at you because you didn't recruit me to play at LSU with you. I'm like, Charles, we'll get over it like that. But to this day, I talk about it.
But he put a whoop on LSU that game.
But you don't know if you remember now. It was him and Stan Pat. Them boys were big and physical and strong.
But what surprised everybody, he was a big kind of chunky,
Yeah, he was.
Everybody thinking like. So you see, you with the scout.
Yeah, with the scout always. And right now, the players and the highest weight, all of them was humongous. And they were athletic.
And that was surprising.
It was.
Did they win it? But they didn't win no championship.
No, they did not. As a matter of fact, Charles only beat us maybe one time.
I think his freshman year.
Whatever it was, yeah, they beat
freshman or
us.
sophomore year, he came down here.
Yeah, because the rest of the time we wore his butt out.
Yeah, he very convincingly. Like,
Yeah. That one time he was. I remember that. But then the rest of the time we beat him.
I mean, because the whole camp of all the players, the football player, man, Barkley ain't that man. Y'all gonna shut him down, bro. That big old fat sucker can't run, man. Barkley.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
Man, he shut it down.
Yeah, like I said, he beat us that one time because we wore him out. Because actually, that's the time we won the SEC championship, I believe. We lost to Auburn, but that time was pretty dominant.
Y'all beat Kentucky that year.
We beat Kentucky that year. Yeah.
That was the most impressive thing.
Yeah.
Beat Kentucky.
We did that year.
That's the year you beat Kentucky.
That was 78.
I know it'd be around 78.
1978.
Beat Kentucky and everybody was there.
Yes.
It's like LSU beat Alabama. It was major.
Yeah.
But Kentucky, only the last couple of years they done dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, they have.
I guess they did NIL and transfer portal.
Transfer portal again. You got to be on the money.
You got
to be on the money.
Well, look, I don't know. You got anything else you want to share with us before we shut this thing down?
No, all the memories, all that's happened. My days at LSU were great. My time here was great. It afforded me some opportunities I probably would never had the rest of my life. To travel to Europe and the foreign countries and Coach Brown and the fact that we could dominate college basketball the way we did. And that I could be the NCAA recruit of the year 6 years.
You didn't say recruit of the year?
Yeah, 6 years in a row. With that group, all of them, just dominating college basketball. I could say this was probably the best time of my life. And I will always cherish it. And again, as we're doing this cast, this weekend is tremendous. The appreciation, the honor that I was shown by our new coach, Matt, and his staff was tremendous.
Oh, you went by?
Yeah, we went to practice and he showered us just with great hospitality.
Now, did he knew who you were?
Yeah, he did not know who I was until I made his acquaintance of who I was. Because he came from Mary, and that's where we are. See, my teams have been to his camps.
Oh, wait, so you coaching in the area that he comes from?
Yeah, actually my teams have been to Mary with him.
Oh, okay.
He actually recruited my son to play at Mary.
All right.
But he didn't know. The day he said to me, he says, you know what, I know you, but I ain't know that you were the same Ron Abernathy at Humboldt as you are. And the day he just hugged me, he's like, man, I can't believe this. I already knew who you were, but I ain't never put together that because I see him every year, and we see him, they come to my games.
But you don't never tell him who you are.
No, I never did. No, I never did. Till the day I said, you know what? You know me. He said, no. I said, Humboldt High School. He said, Humboldt, Tennessee? I said, yeah, Matt. And I said, now, Matt. He said, oh, my God. I ain't never put that together. Because, he followed us when we was at LSU. He was a player, and he knew me and everything, but he ain't never thought I was the same person.
I guess you in Tennessee.
Yeah. He just thought I'd been at Humboldt forever. And he had no idea that I was the same Humboldt, same coach as Ron Abernathy.
And he been knowing you for 40 years.
Long time.
But didn't never put it together.
Never put it together. And, particularly the last 10 since I've been at Humboldt, because we go to marriage camp. And my teams are good. My teams are always good, so, that brings notice. But he never put it together.
No, nobody ever really talk about that in that area? Or you just kind of keep it?
Well, no, I guess, nobody never brought it up. Nobody ever, I have no clue because everybody knows who I am. Because everybody knows me. I guess, some things just slip until it's the right time.
Man, but that's big.
Yeah.
So that's not to be acknowledged.
Right.
That comes first to me before anything else.
And I guess he was just looking at me as a good coach in Tennessee and not thinking about where he came from or why is he such a good coach?
But nobody, even when they write about you, they don't really put much of that in there.
They do. But he ain't put the fact that I was here at LSU. He's looking at me as strictly the coach from Humboldt. See, he didn't know my background. Well, he knew my background, but didn't associate with me.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what that feeling was like for you then?
Oh, great. Because he hugged me and he was like, wow. And then the hospitality he showed me the last 2 days has been tremendous. He had the day at his team come over and shake my hand, and he said, man, you the reason, man. Talking about, you already brought all those players. LSU, obviously somebody's told you that part. He said, boy, I was just glad, you came. And then his assistant coach is like, man, we already knew who you were. And Matt, we just found out that you, what did it say, you were at LSU. We knew that Rudy was bringing his coach and Coach Abernathy, but then when you walked in, we didn't realize, that's the Humboldt coach. Yeah.
But he still didn't realize when you walked in who you were.
No, not until I said, Matt, you know who I am? Man, I'm Coach Abernathy from Humboldt. He said, Humboldt, Tennessee? I said, yeah, man.
You remember talking about your son, man?
Yeah, I said, you remember my son? He said, yes. I said, you remember Anthony Jones was my son's teammate? He was an ESPN highlight. He said, yes. He said, wait a minute. Wow. Because, he didn't follow LSU basketball, his playing career through it. He knew who I was. But it was like, wow.
I guess, too, they got to think about it like this now. You still a young man, because you started young, right?
Yeah.
And probably would people think you be an old man.
Probably.
That's kind of what it is, too. Now.
Yeah.
You think you like, this guy was at LSU to him the early 70s, right?
Yeah.
You don't say the 70s.
Yeah.
To 70s for him,
right.
It's like a long time.
Right.
So I guess that's pretty interesting.
Right.
So it was your first time really visiting LSU for basketball in a while?
Since
Johnny Jones.
I haven't been here.
We didn't talk about Johnny, man. I can't forget Johnny Jones.
I haven't been here in 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last time I was here, I didn't never came with Will Wade. Who was before Will Wade when I was here?
His last name was Johnson.
Oh, Trent Johnson.
That's the last time I met. We all took a picture.
Yes, last time I
was at an event.
It was Trent Johnson. I never came with Will Wade. Never invited us here.
Yeah, we never invited you. But what about our partner Johnny Jones? Now we ain't mentioned Johnny.
That's my fella.
Johnny, don't blame it on our heart, blame it on our mind. We old folks.
We old folks.
We know because Johnny was my little brother when he came to
Yeah.
So Coach Johnny Jones at Texas Southern right now.
Right.
And the won championship twice over there.
No, he's won 3.
3?
Yes.
He didn't do no 3-peat. Johnny didn't do no 3-peat, but I know he done 2.
Well, he's not won 3 in a row, but he's won 3.
He won 3? All right.
Maybe, yeah.
I know he won this past year.
Yeah, and he won years ago. Yeah, he won 2. He won back to back. He's got 3 or 4.
All right. I ain't keeping up with it, JJ.
Yeah.
But Coach Johnny Jones, who really, dear friend and good brother of all of us.
Yeah, well, I recruited Johnny.
I know, that's why I said we done called almost everybody's name.
Yep, I recruited Johnny also. Actually, I'm responsible for Johnny coaching basketball.
Okay, well, you saw something in it?
Well, when the opening came, I remember, he may not tell everybody this, but I remember I was telling him that, we have an opening, and, at that time it was Coach Ron. I would like for him to consider being assistant coach, and he kind of said he didn't think he wanted to be a coach. And we kind of had like, Johnny, here you are, you gonna take this job. and he had said he was gonna do something else. I said, well, take this job until you do something else.
like your mama told you. The principal coach, when they was told you, the guy helping you. Take this job until you do something else.
Take this job until you do something else.
But you saw that in him, though?
Yeah, well, plus he was LSU. I was Jonathan, always have been. I always Jonathan to those players who were from Louisiana who played at LSU. There's something in that. There's something in that. And just want to keep him a part of the program, part of the tree.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
A good man. Stand for something.
I just kind of want him to still be a part of the tree. Which I wish for us more than LSU.
Still ain't happening.
No, it's not. And I still wish.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Almost 50 years later.
Yeah, and I wish that we would take more stock in those who played here, in keeping them here, to move up in those positions that are of importance.
Well, it is what it is.
It is. And just hope it gets better.
Yeah, I mean, 50 years later,
I just hope it gets better, because I think that's one of the downfalls of allowing us not to be more dominant. As we continue to go to the outside looking for what is probably right here in our own building, own state.
All right now.
Okay.
So, on that note, so, I mean, anything that you might want to relive or rehash, or you got some issue with somebody, you want to put it out now, get it over with, let them know how you feel.
Not being one that ever held grudges.
That's true, yeah.
Say what's on my mind, and we move on, because life is short. And when you're upset with somebody else and you leave something linger, that hurts you. So I always say what's on my mind, give it up, and try to make amends with those people that if I've been upset, that they've been upset with me, try to straighten it out so that we can move on.
So are you planning on moving back to Louisiana in your old age?
Well, I got a couple more years, I believe, and we'll make that decision when the time comes. That would not be something that I would be against.
Oh, okay, man. Okay.
Definitely not.
So where's your wife from?
We're she's from Tampa, Florida.
Oh, she's from Tampa.
Yeah, she's from Tampa. That's where my son was born. Of course, that's a consultation with her. But that would not. I mean, I wouldn't.
Does she like Louisiana?
Yeah.
She was to Tampa.
She probably likes Tampa, Florida.
Around the water, though.
No, not around water.
Golf, you know?
Different type of living.
Yeah, okay.
Different type of living. But as I said, that'd be something I have to consult with her. But yeah, we stopped a couple years away.
Okay, well, you might come back and do some more coaching.
Hey,
you're still a young man.
I wouldn't. I still feel it.
I can tell.
I still feel it.
But look, when I saw you last night, it just, I never imagined you being there, right? We was at the Dale Brown book signing, book release last night, and TJ Real, and the food was good. Thank you, TJ Real. Y'all did a great job on the food. And when I walked in, I'm like, that's Ron. As always, you clean. You're gonna look the part, right? You're gonna represent. And man, it just did my heart good, and I truly appreciate it. The last minute, the last second, asking you to come, man. Look, you're in town. Let's please just give me some few minutes to sit down there and let's talk about some history, some past, because this man is history. He's from Louisville, Kentucky, but he's Louisiana history. and man, for you to call me back and say, look, let's do it. I'll be through messing with Joe Lott shortly. And when I get let's make that happen. And it meant a lot to me.
Well, I'm just glad I could do it. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to express myself. And again, as always, to you, we've always been good, and we've always been close. And I just thank you for the opportunity.
Man, look, that sounds good, my brother. But it means the world, Ron, that for you to sit here, I got the coach, the legend, the great one, Coach Ron Abernathy here today, and I truly appreciate having him here today on Count Time, and thank you for being part of Count Time.
You're welcome.